Hey sports fans, welcome back to the Foolish Show. Of course, I am Foolish Phil. I just wanted to give you my thoughts after Michigan's 34-11 defeat at the hands of the Georgia Bulldogs. And this is not how I thought the game would go, but it is what it is. And I just want to give you some of my thoughts. First off, kudos to Georgia. They completely deserve this game. They dominated the line of scrimmage. You heard so many prognosticators saying it's going to be about the line of scrimmage. Who can get the ball and, stay ahead of the chains, right? Get the 5-6 yards on first down, set up your third down, then short and all that. And Georgia totally did that. Their game plan was executed perfectly. And just kudos to them, man. The rush for 190 yards. They gave up no sacks. Their offensive line strategy to stop Hutchinson and Ojabo was outstanding. No sacks for Michigan. There were a couple pressures, but no sacks. No turnovers. Georgia was super focused, and you could tell. And kudos to them, man. Stetson, when he saw an advantage, like when you had Cook covered by a linebacker, I think it was Colson, Junior Colson it was, if I'm remembering right, 2 times. Hit him on perfect deep balls, touchdown. It reminded me of when, Michigan had a linebacker trying to cover Saquon Barkley, and that did not go well then either. Here is like, man, that's just where they took advantage, right? Georgia knew what they wanted, they saw it, and you got to give credit to Stetson, man. It was 17-0 at the point. And, the commentators were saying what a big-time throw or so it was. That it was 3rd and 2 or 3, just deep ball throw, right? If it's incomplete, out of bounds, overthrown, it's going to be a punt. Maybe Michigan, scores it gets back in the game. But anyways, he was just throwing great balls all over the place. And kudos to him, man. I mean, like I said, Georgia totally dominated this game. Kudos to them. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just like, man, Georgia recruits very well. I think they were talking about the talent gap difference, right? That Georgia has 40 players in the top 100 on their team, and Michigan, I think, had 7. Now, I'm not making excuses because you know what? I'm sure the talent gap was there in the Ohio State game too, and Michigan overcame that. Michigan just wasn't as focused as they were in Ohio State, in the Ohio State game and in Iowa game. And give credit to Georgia again, but I'm just going to focus on Michigan here. They had false starts. They had drop passes. You had Gray, who somehow inexplicably decides to stop covering a wide receiver who just catches the ball and walks in for the touchdown. You have Dalen Baldwin, who inexplicably doesn't think the ball's coming to him. He stops his route. Easy touchdown. That really, I'm not. The game was really over at 24-3. Okay, the game really was. But Michigan settled in somewhat. I totally would grant that maybe Georgia was looking ahead, like the game was over. Maybe Georgia was looking ahead to Alabama a little bit, so maybe that's why Michigan was able to move the ball a little bit more in the third quarter. But Michigan had their chance to chip away at the lead. I'm not saying they're going to come back, but they would have been a more competitive game. Anyways, what did they do in the third quarter? You had the Dalen Baldwin stop route for a pick. Then you had Corum for a fumble. There you go. When you have 3 turnovers officially, and at least 3, maybe it was 4 fourth down failures. I know some of those were when the game was already over. But, the first drive Michigan had, they had the 4th down play. The 3rd down play, really, the defenders breaks up the pass to Schoonmaker, would have probably been a first down, and then the next play doesn't work, and you give them a short field, and boom, 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 touchdown, 14-0. Georgia did exactly what you wanted Michigan to do. Get the ball, score, put the pressure on the other team. And there was an interesting stat where Michigan hadn't given up drives to start the game, 4 straight drives, scoring drives, since 2010. Then Georgia scored again, so it was 5 straight drives to score. And they did not say how long it had been since Michigan had given that up. I would love to know that. How long ago has it been that Michigan gave up points on the first 5 drives the team had? Kudos to Georgia, man. They just executed better, had a better game plan, And I'll admit it, they have more talent than Michigan. And you know what? You could see that. The speed was everywhere. Michigan tried a few things, and the plays didn't work. Georgia was getting constant pressure on Cade, and then we got down to like the red zone again, and then we try this long play where you fake a handoff, then fake a reverse, and then by the time Cade even turns around, he's being sacked by two people. It's like the way the offensive line was not able to block. You cannot call those long of plays. So when you only score 3 points for the majority of the game, you're not going to win. So you might criticize the defense, fine, because obviously they needed to get some stops too. But the offense only scored 3 points, man. All it is summing it up. We just got beat up. Michigan got beat up. Kudos to Georgia. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and bemoan the fact, because you know what? There'd probably be about another 5-10 teams that would be so happy to have been in the conference, or sorry, the semifinals of the playoff. And I'm not going to bemoan the fact that Michigan got beat up. It's too bad. I wish it would have been more a competitive game, but what a season Michigan had. I just want to flip the script and try to think of some more positives there. I hope Michigan can use this. You've already seen the positives in recruiting where they got like 5 players that were not to Michigan officially on signing day who came and joined Michigan after the Ohio State victory, right? And that really helped. And then you added the Big Ten title victory. I just really hope that Michigan can make the mantra that this is the beginning, right? So Michigan made it to the college football semifinal. We lost. Got beat up. Let's get back. Let this be the first step. Let's build on it. Get back. You saw some potential there with JJ. You see his arm. You see how he has to learn. He has to, throw the ball a little bit shorter, lower. He has to also get down and not take such big hits. Excuse me. But that's part of being a freshman and learning. But you see the talent there. I mean, you got Donovan Edwards, freshman. JJ, freshman. Andrew Anthony, freshman. Like, man, Michigan's got some talent there. And, just keep the ball rolling. Keep the ball rolling. Don't let this be just like the one magical year and that's it. Oh, boy, if we can remember back to that 2021 year, how great that was. Don't get me wrong. I want to remember the season. It was great. But don't let it be that we're like, oh, man, once every 10 years or so, Michigan has a good season. No. Want it to be so you have those games where you're going for the Big Ten title. We make it back to Indy for the Big Ten title game. Make that more regular. And so hopefully this is a building step to that. It'll be interesting to see, obviously what players go pro, what ones come back. Obviously Aiden Hutchinson is a top 5 draft pick. Some have him as the number 1 overall draft pick. I was Dax Hill going, Ajabo going. So there's going to be stuff to address. And, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the offseason. But what a year. I mean, a team that was started unranked, goes off, wins the Big Ten, wins at Wisconsin, wins at Penn State, wins at Nebraska at a night game. Obviously, wish we would have won at Michigan State, but I think that loss to Michigan State propelled Michigan to the win versus Ohio State. So, what a year. I mean, kudos to this team. Just really appreciate making my Saturdays so much more fun this year versus last year, the COVID year, the big COVID year, where it was just a terrible year. And what a great turnaround this was. So, again, let this be a stepping stone. Let it be the beginning. And hopefully the framework that Hassan Haskins and Aiden Hutchinson and Ross the set here after last season when they came back and, the players and the setup, right, to be a winning team. Hopefully this is the foundation and Michigan can keep building on it every year. That's what was missing. You didn't have those players that knew how to beat Ohio State, how to win tough road games. Let this be the foundation. Let's get back to it. See this as the positive. Of course I wish Michigan would have won, but you know what? There's going to be a winner and a loser. I wish Michigan would have been in a tighter game, but it isn't how it went down. I'm not going to hang my head. I'm like, oh, no. Again, I'm just a fan. But, man, kudos to Georgia. But you know what? So proud of this Michigan team. all they accomplished when no one thought this was going to happen. So kudos to them. Thank you so much, Michigan fans. And I don't know if I'll do another video about football, about, college football or not coming up. We'll see. But I just want to thank you guys for watching the videos I have done. And, if you like this, please subscribe. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you think about the game. Obviously disappointing, but, what can you do? Georgia got the win, and they deserved it, man. They were just a better team. Is what it is. Hey, until I see you guys next time, forever and always, go blue, man.